Hey, what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight? Uh, so, up late, I just want to give you guys an update on how the new item is going. It's going really well, but I'm running into some snags, which are interesting. So, yeah, the biggest issue I'm running into, of course, is the 200 limit. I'm selling a ton, which is great. And I actually raised my price up by about $5, and I'm still selling. I actually sold more than I sold any day today. I also up my bid spending on some of my keywords, and hopefully tomorrow I'm going to bring out a video or the next day on how I'm attacking the whole thing with this new product, how I'm stealing sales from other competitors, and how I'm doing really well. So, just give you guys an update. Like the first day, I think I really put on my PPC. I did 8 sales that day, which was really good. The next day, I did like 11. 11, actually, I did 12. I did 12 sales. Because the day wasn't over, so I ended up doing 12. Today I did like 14 or 15, I think. I think 15. The problem is I'm out of stock again because it's just running out. Like they're not checking it in fast enough, so I ran out. And I also had that issue on the. I had a third day in there that was like 9 or 10 or something like that. The reason that was lower was because I ran out of stock like in the middle of the day. Then more stock came in later at night. So, needless to say, within 3 days, yesterday, as of yesterday, I was Amazon's like number one new release in my category. I did that in 3 days. I'm on page one for multiple search terms. Um, yeah, you just gotta know what to push as far as the PPC. You gotta make a good product that's enticing, that has all the optimizations. And I did that using Cerebro, using my competitors, and then being smart and using my brain, like picking out ones that that are very comparable that I thought I could steal their sales. And I'm finding I'm stealing a lot of sales from people, which is great, especially when you're just starting out. You don't want that to happen to you once you're established, but so it's working out really well. Um, the sales keep increasing. I mean, and that's at a higher price. So I'm actually profitable at this point, which is great for a new product. And that's not even really my goal. My goal was to get my rank up. So two things are going to end up happening. Then I running out of stock. I'm already ran out of stock, but it's just not checked in. Another thing I got tonight, which was just hilarious. I got an email saying my shipping privileges have been cut off because one of my case boxes was too big. And I'm like, this is a new product too. The product I'm talking about. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. It was much smaller. So for any of those you don't know, you have to have under 25 inches on your longest side for your shipping cartons that come in, right? They have to be under 50 pounds. If they're not oversized, like if they're not bigger than that, if they're standard size items, they need to meet these requirements. So I get an email about how my shipping privilege has been, disabled, and I have to go in there and acknowledge what I've done wrong. So they send me a picture, and right next to my box, in the measuring machine, is a bottle of cocoa water, cocoa Vita water, right? So here's the killer. First of all, my Cocoa Vita water is now showing up, which isn't even mine. It somehow got mixed in with one of my boxes, right? So they measured it too long by a couple inches, which is well under 25 inches. But with the Cocoa Vita water bottle, like the water pack there, an 8 pack of Cocoa Vita water, that makes it over 25 inches. And then also, that added weight to my product because the machine measured the weight with that. Although I kept it under 50, it was like 40 some pounds, when my box is like under 30. So I submitted it back. I'm like, if you look at the, they didn't, like, I never have confidence like Amazon's going to solve anything. Like, they made a mistake. The machine measured a Cocoa Vita water with my box. So it made it that the height was too big, and it made it that the weight was like really high when it shouldn't have been. So they're trying to charge me extra money and like trying to ding me on a shipping issue when it's not the case. Like, I didn't do it wrong. It was a mistake on Amazon's part. So the worst part is that 8 bottles of Cocoa Vita water, they're mixed in with my inventory now. So if you order my item, which has nothing to do with Cocoa Vita water, you're gonna get a Cocoa Vita water potentially. So when you think you're getting mine, which is like a much bigger, more advanced item, you're gonna get a bottle of water or a carton of coconut water. So that's great. So I email Seller Central and I'm like, look, can you guys please like let the shipping inventory know that 8 bottles of Cocoa Vita water are checked in with my inventory. Can you please get that fixed before a customer gets Cocoa Vita water instead of what they're supposed to get? So I get back, cannot reconcile your shipment at this time. You gotta wait till the date, which is like December. I'm like, all right, you're not listening. Like, please get this out of my inventory so customers don't get, like, they're gonna be thinking they're getting a Christmas gift instead of gonna get Cocoa Vita water. Same exact message back. I'm sure from somebody overseas because the name just wasn't an American name. So I wrote back a third time, like, please, please read what I'm asking you. Like, please send this to somebody that can help. Like, we can remove these Cocoa Vita waters from my inventory. Same exact message back. So completely pointless, waste of my time. Seller Central, they don't read, they just want to get their metrics, so they just give you some generic answer, and they don't help you at all. So I'm not calling because they won't give me a supervisor, they won't help me. And I couldn't address it in the dispute because it had nothing to do with that. It had to do with the size of the carton and the weight of the carton, not the Cocoa Vita water being in my inventory. So I sent in 200 units, and now it's saying I sent in 208 units. So, two things, there's multiple things bad about that. Number one, they measured it wrong. So they're dinging me on that. Number two, they're saying I sent in 8 more units than I actually did. Number three, of those 8 units, customers are going to get the wrong item. So, it's an absolute killer. It's like, and Amazon made a mistake, and it's just a pain in my ass. It causes hours of my time that I don't want to use to try to resolve this issue that Amazon caused. So I emailed Jeff at Amazon. I'm really hoping I know there's bigger issues. I really do, but I don't know. Like, I'm not wasting any more time on this. Like, I've sent in the correct information for Amazon to correct their mistake, yet they blame you, and you ask for help, and you just get these generic answers back from people that don't give two shits about anything that's going on. They don't give a shit about Amazon customers because if they did, they would send that up to somebody that can help. So now customers are going to be thinking they're going to get a Christmas gift for somebody, and they're going to get an Amazon cocoa water or a Vita cocoa water. It's so stupid, It's so frustrating. Amazon Seller Central, no, the problem is one hand doesn't know what the other hand's doing. You know, just send an email to somebody in shipping or send an email. There's got to be a department that deals with shipping and inventory. There's got to be, right? Just send an email to them, and tell them the situation. So instead of just giving me a generic answer back. So, they're not at help at all. So, I don't know. Probably won't get resolved. Then I'll probably get blamed for having too big of a shipment, too, which is funny. But I'm going to fight it to the end because I'm not going to give on something that I didn't do. But it's just the way it is. You got to be stubborn with the people you talk to on Amazon Seller Central because, they don't listen, man. And you try to resolve an issue, and it's like beating your head off a brick wall. I'm sure anybody who's called understands that. And, blessed. I'm happy to sell on Amazon. I had an amazing day. Did 6K today in sales. I understand it's the biggest by far. I understand there's going to be problems. Always I ask that if there's an issue, that just listen to what I submitted instead of just giving me a generic answer back. Why do you even have a department if you're not going to even listen to what the response is, especially when it had nothing to do with being my fault? There's other things you could argue, say, oh, you could have done something different, as a seller. Okay, I'll acknowledge that. But in this case, nothing to do with me. And it doesn't really even matter because you always end up taking the blame in the end, it seems like. And Amazon just doesn't, they just don't know what the hell they're doing as far as, they're too big, man. They're just too big. And they have too many people working for them, and one hand doesn't know what the other's doing. They just don't know. That's what it is. They're just poorly managed and don't have the reps to be able to answer the questions properly. They don't have the proper training, or they don't have the proper resources. There's probably multiple things. I worked in call centers for over 10 years, so I understand how they work, and it's not working well for Amazon Seller Central. We're treated like dirt, man. And you try to get an issue resolved, and it should take 5 minutes, and not only does it take over an hour, it just doesn't ever get resolved. It's just anyway. Enough bitching. Sales are good. I did get on the number one, like I said, number one new release. Problem with that is I can't remain the number one new release if I don't have any items to sell. So that's an issue. I have more coming in that are going to my storage, so hopefully I can replenish it. The problem is they're not checking them in fast enough for me to do that. So, they checked in 30, 40, but I sold that in a few days, which was great, But now it's hurting me because I can't sell more, and it messes up my rank and everything else. So then I have to shut off my PPC campaigns. So it's very frustrating in that respect, especially when you have a product that's popular right now. So I just have to wait and see and be patient and put it in God's hands. It'll work out. It's a good problem to have in a way, knowing that I've done a good job on the product presentation, and hopefully the reviews will follow to confirm that that's a good product. And I believe they will because I put a good product. So um, anyway, hopefully tomorrow look for that video. Tomorrow on Monday, look for the video that's going to break down how I attacked that campaign. No reviews, and I got it up to where I'm doing 14 sales a day. Actually, I think I did 15 today, which is great. You can do it too. You just got to have the right product. You have to have the right setup, and that's without A plus content too. So you don't need brand registry to do what I did. I do have a video that I've added to it, which I think is tremendous help. And I think any listing you have, you can do a video with. You don't have to be brand registered for that. It can be a tremendous help, and it's been proven to create more sales. So anyway, guys, have a blessed and great night. Please subscribe or like. I'd really appreciate both of those if you find this information helpful. And please hit me up at fbacommute@gmail.com if you have questions. I eat, live, and breathe this stuff, man. Like, this is like my life. I've come so far on Amazon, but I'm constantly. I would tell you, ask anybody who sees me every day. Ask my wife. There's no way anybody works harder than me. I work hard every day, and I'll work on Amazon 10, 12 hours straight a day. Like, I don't quit. I'm always learning information. So if you need help or have a question, I can likely probably get you the answer or help you out. But, I work really hard. If you guys have anything you want me to cover, I'd be happy to do that. I'm always looking for new information too. So if you have information I don't know, because I don't know everything, I love to hear that. I love to hear new information. I'm always looking to suck up new information. I just got some really cool stuff from one of the legendary sellers. I can't remember his name right now, but he's had a really cool thing about back-end keywords, which I'm also going to cover in a video coming up here too, which can be huge. So stay tuned for that. Look for 2 videos hopefully by Wednesday, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night.